Welcome to Happy Hour with Steve Guy. Tonight we have interviews with Cleveland.com beat reporter Ethan Sands and veteran NBA storyteller Spencer Davies. Well, hey guys, you know what? Let's get this started. Everyone give it up for the host of Happy Hour, Steve Guy!
Welcome to another edition of Happy Hour. We have a very fun show. The Cavs regular season has wrapped up, so what better way to get things going as we get ready for the playoffs than talk to two journalists in the area that cover the Cavs. So that's what we'll be doing today. And, of course, we'll have last call countdown as usual. And our bar back, Jermaine, is here. What's up, Jermaine?
What's up, y'all? Hope everybody good. What's up, y'all?
Jay, did you watch any of the Masters golf tournament?
You know what? I haven't watched any of the Masters. I'm not a golf fan, but sometimes I find myself watching it, especially when, under the influence. But, yeah.
It was, I didn't watch it either. I just figured we should be up on current events. People are going to want us to talk about it, and that's the extent that we can talk about it.
And there's a lot of people that watch it. So
a lot of people watch it, just not us.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's not our thing. You ever played golf, Jay?
You know what? Yeah, miniature golf.
Miniature golf.
I swear, I've never been on a. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I've never been on a golf course. I would love to swing a golf club and hit the ball.
Yeah.
But I think I'm gonna be terrible at it. But all you gotta do is, when you get on there, do it. You know what I mean?
Well, you could also just go for fun and you can drink a lot.
Oh, that's my. Oh yeah, I'm with
you
it.
got
I'm with it.
Yeah.
I'm with it, yo.
I would not let you drive the cart, but
that's what I want to do, though.
No. I don't know. We'll get there one day.
All right, heard.
You know what? What else we have to do, Jay? We got to stop people from writing on these bathroom walls. You know what I'm saying? You see that?
Yeah.
It's not even creative. It's dumb stuff. Like the men's room, it says Jason was here, and it's not this Jason.
Yeah.
But who's Jason? If you're gonna write on bathroom walls, stop being so ambiguous about it.
Maybe the one that drowned it.
There's a Jason that drowned?
Yes.
It's news to me, pal.
Voorhees.
Oh, that one. I don't think it was the killer, Jason Voorhees.
Yeah. We'll see.
Yeah. I think it would be cool if it was like Jason Biggs, like the guy from American Pie.
Oh, that'd be great.
Yeah, right.
Yo,
that'd be cool.
I'm trying to be in the next movie.
Yeah, you want to be in the next American Pie?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't think it was actually him. I think we would know the guy that had sex with the pie was in the bar.
I think so.
But that would be, all the celebrities that we have in the Flatiron, that might have been the biggest one.
Heard,
if it was, let's just go with that.
Yeah.
You ever been in the bathroom and you have a Sharpie in your pants and you're like, I should write on the wall now?
It's a lot of suspects. Like, I think, I know,
Yeah.
Or it's up high. How you reach that high?
How do you get that high? What about the ones who carve into walls? Like, how long is your pee that you're able to sit there and carve into a wall? There are people in prison who take years and years to carve into a wall. Somebody's doing this in a 30-second piss. That's talented.
That is.
Give it up for that guy, huh?
Dang. Look, I guess. You give it up. Give it up for him.
Yeah, why not? Why not?
Yeah. That's amazing.
Right. Listen, Jay, we're going to talk to our guests and interview them, but I thought it would be fun if we play a little drinking game with them.
What's up?
You down for one?
You already know.
To start, we're starting with a drinking game.
Yeah, we're going to start with a drinking game. Why not? This way I can really learn about the Cavs later when you guys are nice and, we're going to hear all the secrets that you know based on this. All right, so there's an old card drinking game called Kings. This is essentially that, but modified. So, for those who don't know, basically you got cards. I'm using all face cards and a 10. Every card stands for something. Jay, go ahead, get you a beer.
I can get a beer. Oh, let's go. Anyone?
When I said you want to play a drinking game,
I didn't know I was involved.
Yeah.
I love being involved.
That's why I asked you specifically if you want to play a drinking game. Jay, do you understand the rules of this game?
No.
I didn't think so. Like everything we do together, I'll explain it to you as we go. All right. All right, Jack. This is never have I ever written an article about the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Oh, man. Got me.
That's a low blow right now.
I've never been to a Cavs game this season.
Wow. I'm out.
All right. Kings, everybody drinks. All right.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, all right, Spencer. Question master. All right, Spencer, you drew the card. You lead it off.
What color is that wall?
Do I have to answer?
Do you think that tap has enough beer in it?
Yeah.
You already lost.
And orange.
Thanks for making that quick and easy. All right, here we go.
Explain it to me. Just compute.
Everybody drink again. All right, hey.
Hey, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I want to do.
All right, last one. Category challenge. Here we go. Would it be a show if the cameraman doesn't hit something?
America, what is going on?
Last card, we're going categories. Cleveland Cavaliers players of the past. Nobody currently on the team. So I'll give you Mark Price.
LeBron James.
Oh, good job.
Larry Hughes.
Jamario Moon.
Austin Carr.
Sasha
Oh.
Pavlovich.
Ubi.
And here he comes.
Where you at?
Brad Doherty.
Oh,
Mo Williams.
Spence.
Shaquille O'Neal.
Larry Nance.
Antoine Jameson.
Yeah.
Ilgauskas.
Good pull on Z there, my man. Good pull. Wesley Person.
Bingo Smith.
Delonte West.
There you go.
Kevin Love.
Ben Wallace.
Larry Nance Jr.
Richard Jefferson.
I will take Kyrie Irving.
I'll take Channing Frye then.
Vitaly Potapenko. I guess is probably how you say it.
Yeah, I
The
think
Ukraine
so.
train.
Potapito.
Yeah.
Yeah. Z.
Oh,
Big
you're
Z.
out. I already said.
Oh, man, come on, man. I wanted to lose anyway, so.
All right.
Yeah, Jay's in for a long day.
Mm-hmm.
That is going to do it for our happy hour Kings card game. We come back. We'll go more in depth with our guests, Ethan and Spencer, when happy hour is.
I'm going to lose every time.
That's winning, though.
Say that.
Welcome back to happy hour. All right. We're having a pardon me, Jermaine.
For everybody? For everybody?
You buying? Anyway, so we are joined by a couple of sports reporters here. Ethan Sands of Cleveland.com. And we've got Spencer Davies. Spencer's friggin' writes for everything and anything, basically. Freelancer, how's that feel?
I wouldn't recommend it.
Heard that.
All right, guys, so let's talk Cavs. Tell me about how much fun you had covering the team this year.
Man, it was a blast, to be honest with you. It's just the camaraderie that they have together as a team, but also just the fact that they've grown over the last couple of years. You add some pieces to a team, and they just get to know each other. They're locker room buddies, but they're also hanging out outside of the court. It's been a blast, and it's been cool to really see the development of a lot of the younger guys like Darius Garland and Evan Mobley, to be honest with you. And then you have Donovan Mitchell stepping up as a leader this year, and Jared Allen playing 82 games. It's a very fun season to be around, and the whole vibe around the team just seems like they have unfinished business from last year, and that's what makes it really fun.
I think Spence got into a lot of it, but encapsulating this season has been the opportunity to once again watch Spencer's videos on X, formerly Twitter or YouTube or wherever they get posted on. But you get to see the background of this team. You get to understand how they've continuously had each other's back since day one.
How fun is it to be in on those post-game interviews? Because they are just going off like all year. It's like it's not just you guys as journalists or anybody else. It's all the players are sitting there asking questions, and it's hysterical.
Spence had a moment the other day with him and DG going back and forth with a joke, referencing Karl Anthony Towns and when the New York Knicks were in town. Would you like to give your impersonation, Spence? I think that's probably what everybody wants to hear.
Raph, oh my God!
I was running camera by the events. I heard them doing that.
Yes.
That was dope. That
No,
was
so
dope.
there's those moments. What's really cool, honestly, is like the end of the games when they're watching another team in there, and they're watching another game, and you're able to kind of interact and get into the mind of another basketball player while they're watching a game live. So you're there waiting for them because they're not doing their interviews during this game. They want to watch the game. So that's really cool. They did that with the Celtics and Rockets, I think, a couple months ago. Was really fun. But I think that the environment in the locker room, it's interesting because they're a mature group mentally. They are very mature. They are tough-minded, but they're still a bunch of kids.
Yeah.
They're a bunch of kids. They have a great time with one another. They love to screw with each other in their interviews. And I think that has kind of brought them together even more. Just they have so much support for one another.
Which is cool. Yeah.
Which is really cool. But like when one is going and you can tell that the questions being asked are going to have to do with awards or if it's like a good play that night or something like that, they're going to be putting it on their Snapchat. They're going to be trying to act like the reporters themselves. Like I've put together so many compilations this year, especially around Christmas and like December, where they were just messing with each other. Like I remember Darius Garland asking Donovan Mitchell like about his private jet. And then when he goes in there and he's also talking about, you don't do laundry. There's no way you do laundry. Like there's just some random things happening in the back of these interviews that I have such a good time putting together compilations of the video, but being there and hearing their kind of natural friendship that they have off the floor is, I think, also a big reason why they're so good on the floor, because that just naturally translates to being on the court, and you see it. You see it
That
really
chemistry,
lifetime.
yo. That chemistry. That chemistry.
I think when you talk about a team that has been through the nitty-gritty together, through the mud, as people call it nowadays, you get to see the evolution of this team, right? But when you talk about like the questions and the locker room and all the fun, like they're able to turn it off and on, right? If you're on the court, if they're in the middle of a game, they're 100% locked in.
What's one of the funniest moments that you could each pick out from covering these guys this year?
The meet-off?
The meet-off.
What's the meet-off? That's how it is.
So Donovan Mitchell and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander were a part of a Skims promotion, Kim Kardashian's brand.
Okay.
And we're talking about we're talking to Donovan, and in the background, all you can hear is the meet-off, the meet-off.
All right, the meet-off.
And I'm not going to tell you who won the meet-off. It's not my point of view, but that they were saying that somebody in the Cavaliers locker room was definitely coming out on that on top.
So is it like you going like, how you win a meet-off? Like, what's up? Like,
So there's a picture of them. So Skims is an underwear brand, right?
Heard.
It's Donovan Mitchell and
Donnie.
Shai Gilgeous-Alexander
In their underwear, Jay.
in underwear. So do
you understand how you win the meet-off?
Yeah. You win the meet-off. All right.
Does it sound like you're winning the meet-off anytime soon?
Oh my gosh.
I think I can't get any more vulgar than that.
No,
Yeah,
I think that's good. Who do we think are the toughest potential competitors that Cavs match up against?
So, obviously, I'm not the biggest Tyrese Halliburton fan. If you listen to the Wine and Gold Talk podcast, which I host, you know that. But I still think you have to put respect on his offensive ability. Pascal Siakam, Miles Turner being able to spread the floor, pull Jared Allen out to the perimeter, Evan Mobley out to the perimeter. That also hurts the Cavs' offense or defensive rebounding, and we also understand that that's been something that they've been lacking all year. So I think if you put those different things into the forefront, the Pacers are going to have a game plan coming in where they think that they can exploit the Cavs. And this is not me saying that I think the Cavs are going to lose to the Indiana Pacers, because I don't think that. But I think this series would be the most difficult for the Cavs outside of the Boston Celtics. And I'm going to give it back to Spence because I know we're going there next.
Well, we definitely are gonna go.
This
there
got
next.
real nerdy real fast.
Oh yeah. Oh, we can get the nerdiest of nerdy if we need to. So if it gets to Boston, that is going to be a very big test for the Cavs. Obviously, last year went the way it did. There were injuries going in. Donovan Mitchell didn't even finish the series. They didn't have Jared Allen, and you had Karis LeVert, who was dealing with a knee injury too in that series. But that's also what was Evan Mobley's coming out party, and he had a hell of a series against Boston last year. I think with this team defensively, their strategy is going to shift a little bit. What you've seen this year against the Celtics is the Cavs put Darius Garland switching on to Jason Tatum and the likes of Jaylen Brown. And they want to bait them into twos. And I think that could also be a big area where things change, because if they fall into that trap, then Boston, where they hurt you the most, is beyond the 3-point arc.
Yup.
And so if you have them taking twos, even if they're easier twos, that's a win for you. They also have to, the Cavs that is, have to find a way to neutralize Kristaps Porzingis. That is very much so what Ethan just said about rebounding.
Yeah.
That, but also the fact that he's going to be able to defend the way he does too.
Who do you want to see them play in the NBA Finals?
Me being the basketball fan, the pure basketball fan, by the way.
Right.
I am not a hot take type of person. I love the game, the ins and outs of it. I'll talk pick and roll coverages. We'll talk about all that stuff.
Who's your nerdy pick, Spencer?
The Thunder. The Thunder, easily the Thunder. I think
Thank you, sir.
That game, what was it, back in December or January?
The first one or the second one?
The first one.
Oh,
the first
game
game.
in December.
It was amazing. I had a blast. I think for 4 quarters, everyone was entertained. It was pure basketball at its finest. DG came up with a huge shot from the corner in that game, too. I just loved watching that, and I want to see that with Chet Holmgren involved this time because Chet was not in that game, unfortunately. I want to see those two duke it out, and obviously being from Cleveland, I'm a little bit of a homer for a small market team. And if we see Cleveland versus OKC, and they're the best basketball teams in the NBA, and not just the ones that have entertainment value.
Exactly.
I think the two go hand in hand, to be honest with you. So
Say that,
I would
homie.
love to see it.
We'll leave it at that. We'll take a break here and we come back. Let's
We go forever.
Let's talk to you guys and actually get to know the two of you so some of our viewers get to know the guys behind all the reporting. So we'll be back. Happy Hour Steve Guy. Welcome back. All right, so we talked a whole lot of Cavs, and we could probably talk about it after we're done recording. But, it's fun to get to know the people behind doing all of the writing and everything. Spencer, you're familiar with the area.
Yeah.
So you're familiar with all the sports teams and the heartbreak we've gone through.
Mm-hmm.
Ethan, you're not.
I ain't from here.
You're just kind of getting going.
Me neither.
Let's start.
He's an import.
Yeah. So, a lot of people may not know this. We talked about already. You're from Baltimore, grew up in the Baltimore area. And basketball, not necessarily one of your favorite sport. Baseball guy right here.
Sure
Ethan
am.
played baseball at OU.
Yes, sir. Shout out to the club teams. Everybody loves the club teams. Get to have fun and play the games we love. Yes, sir.
Yeah, where we do have points of contention. I understand when you come into the Flatiron and you root for the Ravens during football season because you're from there. That's fine. I let it go. But I will never allow you to come in here and root for the Yankees like you do in baseball.
So here's my thing. Because I covered the MLB, I will never say I'm a fan of an MLB team or an NBA team or a college team. But because I have never covered the NFL, I can still be a wholehearted fan of the Baltimore Ravens. It's never been my job. It has never paid my bills. But I will say I grew up a Yankees fan because my family is from New York, but I grew up in Ellicott City, Maryland, which is very close to Baltimore.
Yeah, I don't know about you, Spence, but I give people the pass when they're from an area and they're a fan of that. As Browns fans, obviously we hate the Steelers. But if you're from Pittsburgh and you come to Cleveland and you're like, oh, yeah, I'm a Steelers fan, but I'm from Pittsburgh, I pass. You know what I mean? I wasn't born hoping to be a Browns fan. You know what I mean? But
Me neither.
was born into this, and it is
Was
what
anybody?
It is. That's what I am now. Let me ask you guys both this. How do you come about becoming sports journalists? Is it just something you always want to do because you grew up loving sports?
Since he's going to be long, so I'll let him go first.
Let E go on this one. This one's a long one, so that's all on E right here.
Well, you think about how to condense it.
I might just. I was going to turn my mic off and let him go. My story, basically, I went to Ohio University
Right.
and was a part of the EW Scripps School of Journalism.
Okay.
And when I was in high school, I was a big psychology guy. I wanted to be a therapist for my friends because I wanted to be able to help them with their problems, right?
Sure.
Got to OU, and I was there for one day. I think it was orientation. And I asked the professor, I said, how long does it take for you to get a degree in psychology? Or what do you do with a 4-year degree in psychology? She said, you continue to go to school. And I immediately asked, where do I go to change my major?
I would say, yo, give it up. Yeah.
So I wanted to be a psychologist therapist at the very beginning, but I knew that my heart was as a storyteller.
Yeah.
And I wanted to create a job for myself where, and I learned this from a mentor very early on, if you combine a hobby and a passion, you never feel like you work for a day. And that's basically what I'm doing now, which you get to cover basketball for a living, get to cover sports for a living.
Yeah.
And Cleveland is the next sports team that I've gotten to cover, so I'm very happy to be here.
It's awesome. We're happy to have you here, man. We enjoy your visits we enjoy Ethan's visits to the Flatiron.
So if he started with school, I'm going to start with school. So I went to the University of Akron. I did not have a major until I was a junior in college, and I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. So I applied for an internship to work for a baseball team. It was the Akron Arrows at the time.
Yeah.
And then it turned into the Rubber Ducks. That turned into a gig at the Akron Beacon Journal, which then led me into meeting Sam Amico, who still covers the Cavs.
Yeah.
Shout out
in the
to
NBA.
Sam Amico.
Shout out to Sam.
Shout out.
Sam would take me up to Cavs games in 2012, 2013. My first story was with Alonzo G.
Yeah.
And I was to say, remember
Right.
Alonzo G?
Yeah.
And you do just kind of domino effect from there, to be honest with you. It's just progression year by year. And, you know, you end up covering your first All-Star game. You end up going to the draft combine. You end up over at NBA Summer League. I still remember before all that happened, man, right down the road from Flatiron over here, you know those steps that are shut down right now?
Right.
I used to park down in a little parking lot that was abandoned.
Yeah.
There were dynamite sticks over there, but
I
I
know what
took the
you're talking
chance. Took the chance. Parked over there. Been covering the Cavs since 2015, and was walking up those steps, getting to the arena. It's crazy to think that I've been doing this for like 11 years now.
Yeah, it's
which
awesome.
It's nuts to me. But the thing is, it's very rewarding because you kind of grow up with the team. At the time, when I first started covering them, it was LeBron, it was Kevin Love, it was Kyrie Irving. So
Right.
big time, like stage. A lot of guys that were covering that team, like Chris Haynes, Dave McMenamin. These guys are all on huge levels now. Chris Fedor,
Windhorst.
lead beat reporter with Ethan Sands right here, who just came along. It's crazy to think that I was just kind of like the young guy at that time, but now I've kind of turned into that vet.
What I enjoy about you guys, and obviously people watching wouldn't know this, but I've hung out with you guys outside of here, and we're in a day and age where everybody wants to be the first to break a story or something on Twitter or X, as it's called now, on social media. Everybody's got to have that story out there first, and so journalism can be very, very competitive, but the Cleveland sports journalism community, everybody kind of has this cool little camaraderie that you all have built.
You're competitors, but you're not really competitive. It's an interesting dynamic for sure.
Yeah.
But the fact that you can sit down at a bar like this, have a beer, and just kind of talk things, and it's what we love to do. I think that's ultimately what it is because we share so many common goals. We share so many kind of interests. To be honest with you, that's the fun in it.
Well said.
To get a little bit more behind the scenes of the reporting aspect of it, I think it's important to grow a camaraderie with the people that you're not only working against sometimes, but you're competing with, because at the end of the day, journalism is just fighting to survive at this point, right? We have
That's true.
artificial intelligence and all these things that are starting to take over our world. But when you talk about things like interviews, when you talk about feature stories, and again, going back to the storytelling aspect that I was mentioning, AI can't tell your stories the way that we do.
Right.
AI doesn't have the background. AI doesn't have us being in the trenches for 82 games of a season, which, as he was mentioning, from summer league to now. So our jobs basically can start in August and get done in June. right? And
Right.
That's kind of insane to think about. But the fact of the matter is we still get work done. As much as he likes to talk in my ear when we're in the media room and trying to get work done.
You ain't lying.
We'll be sitting there and sometimes we divvy up who does certain transcriptions because on every given night you can interview 5-6 people.
Sure.
And if you're sitting there doing all of those things by yourself, it makes it a lot more challenging.
Yeah.
And then you continue to find out people you can trust in the industry, people who respect you, people who like doing work with you. And then, as you mentioned, you take that outside of the work area and you find out who that person is in themselves, not just as a person or as a worker, but as a person, right? Because I think that's the biggest thing of everything and why we can have these conversations with NBA level players, MLB players, NFL players, whatever. They're all just people. And I think that's, at the end of the day, the biggest point that we can give anybody is because everybody's just trying to get by, everybody's just trying to live life, and everybody's just trying to stay alive.
And I think I'll give you this kudos. I've given it to you before, but I'll give it to you publicly. Now it's going to be on record, on a show. When you talk about the pieces and the feature stories that you do, and you being a storyteller, some of your best work is when you are really humanizing and telling the story of these players that, as fans, we don't really get to know the behind the scenes of them, and you do an incredible job with those.
I appreciate that.
I just want to let you know. Yeah, give them a round of applause.
Hey, I got one more question. I got a question.
Yeah, what's your question?
So when it's the off season, what do y'all do?
So I golf. I like to go out with friends to just put that as cleanly.
Spence, not to
plainly
cut
as
you
I
off.
can.
Not to cut you off. I think they meant as reporters. Did you not?
Yeah, that's what I meant. Yep, as a reporter.
He did
As
mean
reporters. Okay.
As
But
reporters.
that's what you do.
As reporters, when the season ends, right? There's certain different entities that we have to continue covering, right? For me, I do a 5-day-a-week podcast that anybody can listen to, Wine and Gold Talk podcast. But when we talk about the covering of the team, the covering of the players and the people, there's still practices, there's still things, but the players get a little bit of time off as well. 82-game season plus 16 games to get through the playoffs if they win the championship. All of those things are taken into account.
Right.
But like last year, J.D. Bickerstaff gets fired. We have to cover that. We're there for that.
All right.
Kenny Atkinson then gets hired. We're there for that. We're there for that.
There's always something to
There's
cover.
always something to keep
That's
going.
what's up, man.
Right. And also, Spence, and I think this is important, one of the biggest networking pieces when it comes to our job, and that's really important, the communication, is what Spence does in the summer, which is going to Summer League and generally Las Vegas and getting to cover the team, but also getting to cover the people around it and who's next up, who's coming up, and telling their stories as well.
Man, Vegas Summer League is the best just because
I believe it. It's Vegas.
you are so informal with all of it. That's one of my favorite things in the offseason for sure. I'm not going to go too far into that, but that also does go into what I was saying earlier, though, the golf and the hanging out with friends. That happens at Vegas Summer League. So.
All right, we're going to do a shot here as we wind this down and wind the show down. But before we do that, let me ask you this, Ethan. I want this out of you, and then I'll get something from Spencer here. What is one of the most surprising things you've learned about Cleveland since you've been here? And then, Spencer, I want you to think about something that he needs to do that maybe he hasn't done yet to be a Clevelander.
For me, the most surprising thing of just the Cleveland area is just how welcoming everybody is.
Yeah. Good.
And again, most of the stuff that I really enjoy about sports is the storytelling, the people, that aspect of it. And I think coming to Cleveland, one of the first things I did was come into the Flatiron and meet Steve. And then I think that set a really good precedent for my journey in Cleveland. So thank you to Steve Guy of Happy Hour with Steve Guy to being a good standard. But also just like everybody that I've encountered in Cleveland has, other than the people that have broken into my car, have been very nice and just supportive of everything you do. Obviously, there's always going to be haters, but I think the most important thing is the people that you meet.
Ethan Sands needs to get to a Cleveland Browns tailgate in the Muni lot.
Oh. Well, you've only got so much time left to do that, too.
Yeah, I was going to say, there's not...
No, I have not.
Is that not the most Cleveland thing you can possibly do?
Well, gentlemen, thanks for joining us for happy hour.
It was a pleasure. Thank you very much.
Cheers to you guys. Thanks for joining us. Here's to the Cavaliers.
Absolutely.
Let's go.
Big run.
All right, we'll be back because it's that time, folks. We have reached that time. It is the last call countdown. Today's category, top 5 Cavs playoff slogans that got declined. Number 5, here we go. Hey, even without LeBron. Number 4, we're like if Carlton was good at basketball instead of Will. Number 3,
Tell him, Steve.
3 dudes and a unicorn. Number 2, we're really famous.
That's what I heard. That's what I heard. That's what I heard.
And number 1 in the last call countdown, top slogan that got denied by the Cavs for the playoffs, anything written in Comic Sans. There you go. Cheers to you, cheers to them. We'll see you next week here on Happy Hour with Steve Guy. Thank you, everybody.